Hi everyone, welcome back to the ScrapbookPal YouTube channel. This is Marla with Mad About Cards and Crafts, and today we are transitioning into fall. Rainbows are typically seen in the spring and the summer, but I wanted this beautiful rainbow from Colorado Craft. It's called Build a Rainbow Stamp to transition into my fall cards using warm colors from the Ranger ink line. Here's that beautiful Build a Rainbow stamp. It's part of the Big and Bold collection. I'm also using this Love Art, and I'm going to be using the little mouse with the paintbrush. I'll be using some Distress Embossing Glazes in Fossilized Amber, Fired Brick, Rusty Hinge, Broken China, and Rustic Wilderness. I'm going to start by toning down this white panel that's been cut to 3 3/4 by 5 with some antique linen Distress Oxide. I wanted that warmth to follow all the way through this card, so I inked up that panel. I'm going to use my Distress sprayer to spritz it with a little bit of water. Off camera, I do use my Ranger heat tool to dry this panel, and then we'll start building our rainbow. This rainbow only comes with 5 arches, so the 6th color is going to be missing. You choose which color you want to miss. I chose to use the little mouse, and the little mouse is pondering with his paintbrush that has been dipped in purple where it's going to fit that purple on this rainbow. I thought that that would be a really cute addition, so let's build our rainbow with these warm Distress Oxide colors. I'm starting with Broken China, and throughout this you're going to see that I forget to prime my stamp. This is a brand new stamp, so it's a little bit blotchy. There's usually some sort of residue that's on it, and you should just wipe it and then you can stamp it perfectly, but I just do 2 layers and I wipe it in between. I'm bringing in that beautiful embossing glaze, and this embossing glaze not only is going to intensify that Broken China, but it's also going to give me that beautiful gloss that I love on my cards. I know that many of you have been watching me over the past year on this channel, and you know that I love my Dimension, which will be on this card. You know I love my Sparkle and Shine, so adding this embossing powder is just adding a little bit more shine to my card. This second layer does have hearts on it, and I did stamp it using Rustic Wilderness. I'm going to use that same embossing glaze. You can see I did speed this up a little bit because it is going to be repetitive from this point on. And I'm going to use my heat tool to melt that embossing powder. My third color is going to be a solid arch, and this solid color is going to be Fossilized Amber, which is going to be a warm yellow. And I will stamp it twice, bring in the embossing glaze, and we'll melt that. The next layer is going to have little circles on it, so there's going to be open spots. It's going to have a pattern of circles. And I'm going to use the Rusty Hinge for that. So that's a warm orange. And then we'll finish off our rainbow with Fired Brick. And that's going to be a really thick layer. So the arch on the final color is going to be the widest out of all of them. And you know, as I said, that I do like my sparkle. I do like gold a lot, so I'm going to bring in some gold watercolor, and we're going to be doing some splattering. I will bring in a layer of gold cardstock, and I am pretty thrifty with my cardstock, especially the golds and the silvers, so I do end up just cutting out a rectangle out of the center so that I can save some of that cardstock for another project. I did color up my mouse off camera, and you saw that I was inking it up with some antique linen because I did use my brother's Scan and Cut to cut it out, and that white paper was super stark, and I wanted it to be toned down to match the rest of my card. Here's where I'm doing some splattering. I'm starting with that red gold, and I'm also going to use that same palette to color in the little rainbows, so that's going to draw in that gold theme again, and I love the look of this card. I really think that it's the perfect transition into fall. It would be cute if you added little leaves to it. I am going to bring in the cloud. There is a cloud in this stamp set, and I'm going to cut out that cloud with my brother's Scan and Cut. I inked it with antique linen, and we are going to use that cloud for our sentiment. I like to add a little bit of gold watercolor to the edge of my cardstock. I think that it just helps draw in more of that gold finish. So that's what I'm doing there. I'm taking that middle gold, which is kind of in between the deep gold and the lighter gold, and I'm just adding it all along the edges. And then I also am going to bring in a plum cardstock. That's going to be from my stash. That's going to be 1/4 of an inch bigger. It's going to be 4 by 5.5. My finished card is going to be 4 1/4 by 5.5, which is A2 size. I did use some little jewels to fill in those dots that are all around that rusty hinge rainbow. Here's where I'm stamping my sentiment. I do use a Catherine Pooler ink. It's a beautiful muted purple. It's called Sugared Lavender. And I'm going to stamp my sentiment that says, "Thank you for sharing your love of art with me." Perfect to send to any of your crafty friends. I do add foam tape to the back of the cloud as well as to my mouse. I'm using some vintage photo around the edges of this cloud, and that's going to be my card for today. So I will glue these down, and I think, as I said, that this is the perfect way to start transitioning your cards into fall cards. Anyone would love to receive this beautiful muted color palette. I think it's absolutely beautiful. Ranger has a great line of inks. All of the products that I've used will be linked in the description box below. If you haven't subscribed to the Scrapbook Pal YouTube channel, please subscribe, ring the bell so that you're notified whenever we do upload a video. And if you like this video, I'd greatly appreciate it if you would give it a thumbs up. That just helps let the people over at Scrapbook Pal know that you appreciate the content that we're bringing you. Until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day. Thanks for watching.